Hey, what's going on, y'all? Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about hardships and the fact that every hardship holds a lesson. Every failure that you encounter in this life, there's something to be learned from that. Every time you go through a difficult struggle, especially on the semen retention journey, there's going to be a lesson you can extract from that to gain something from that. You know, it's not easy to learn a lesson from hardships. Often, when we're in our pride, we have our ego at the forefront. It seems to be the best option to complain, to wish that things had gone differently, and to stay in that realm of just being angry, even just at the universe, at God, or just at yourself, that you weren't good enough, that you didn't do the right things, or that you had to go through the thing at all. I would remind you all of the story of Job. He had it all. He had to go through some major hardships. God allowed him to go through some major mayhem, some terrible situations. And all throughout it, he never cursed God. He understood that God gives and the Lord takes. And it was that understanding that allowed him to endure those hardships. And that's really where you need to start when you're going through hardships. You need to start with understanding that in this universe, there's going to be some good, there's going to be a lot of bad that goes with it. It's this balancing effect. You can't have one without the other. And so, that's the best place to start. But then you can go from there, and you can extract something from the hardship. You can learn a lesson. If you brought the hardship upon yourself, which more often than not, that is the reason we go through these hardships, then you have to take that lesson and be better next time. The next time God presents you a situation as such, you have an opportunity now to have used what you learned from that past mistake, from that past failure, and go through this next hardship even stronger, even more apt, with more understanding, and not make the same mistake because you learned your lesson. There's a story in King Arthur where his youthful knight is going out, or in fact I'll say this, King Pellinore, because we're all kings out here. We're all kings on this journey. So King Pellinore, king of one of Arthur's kings, goes out on a mission for Arthur, and he's so determined on his mission that he rides past a damsel that cries out for help, and in her grief that she is not aided, she kills herself. Kind of silly, right, to our modern understanding, but it turns out that that girl was his daughter, the daughter he'd been searching for a long time in his life. And the girl that she was mourning was, some friendly king to him, someone he knew, someone he was associated with. And so, because he didn't stop to help, he caused their death. And so, when he returns to Arthur, Merlin counsels him to have learned from that experience and never again ride past a damsel who cries out in distress. This youthful knight I was going to mention, he happens to attempt to kill this evil knight with a stroke while the knight had asked for mercy. The knight had asked for mercy. He was on his knees pleading with him for mercy. And he said, "No, I'm going to kill you." He's so maddened and enraged. And the evil knight's bride jumps in front of it and takes the sword stroke for him. The young knight of Arthur lops off her head. And he has to carry that for the rest of his life. And so, from there, when he returns to King Arthur's court, he is chided. And he makes an amendment to say, "Never again will I not show mercy. I will always show mercy to anyone who requests it." He extracted a lesson from that hardship. He learned something. And now he's able to use that going forward for his strength. This is where we want to be in life. When we go through something, as opposed to beating ourselves up about it endlessly. Although there was time for that. Not endlessly, though. He came around, and he learned the lesson that he was meant to learn from that situation. And from there, that point on, he chose to live better. I think we can all learn from that. And sometimes we'll go through these hardships, like Job. Job was blameless, yet he still went through that. Often God will put us, or if you will, we will simply go through these things, and as long as we're willing to extract the lesson, we can be stronger. Even if the lesson is just endure. Sometimes there is no point besides getting stronger through enduring, so that next time you go through such a similar hardship, you're better prepared, you're stronger, it's more easily and readily faced. You know, there's a quote, or a song lyric, Mick Jenkins, skipping on rocks I swear used to be my stepping stones. At some point in life, you want to be going through the same hardships that you went through in the past, like they're just measly, like they're nothing. You want to skip on those rocks that you used to have to so carefully step over. You know, that's the place where you want to be in life. Not where you're looking down at your feet, watching your path, but where you're walking confidently, striding over those rocks that you used to have to step so carefully on. And often, if you can extract a lesson from the hardships that you go through, walking over those rocks will be second nature. So that's the point where we want to go in life. That's the point where we want to be. Using what we learn from hardships to propel us forward, so that we can face the next hardships readily, easily, and without fear. All right, y'all. Hope you learned something from this video. Hope you gleaned something. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of these myths, a lot of these different tales, and there's such a warning in these, but there's also such a lesson. And learning these lessons, I think that's kind of the point of life, so that we can just grow, we can evolve, because that really is the point of life. That's really our purpose here. You look at life across the board, and it's all just trying to evolve. It's all just trying to turn into its best self. So, I think that if we make that our mission, life opens up in an unimaginable way. Okay. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, night, whatever you're doing. Take care. Peace.